Hey everyone, Joey here, and I have been playing Dave the Diver on Nintendo Switch. If you haven't heard of this game before, it originally came out on PC back in June to some critical acclaim, getting 90 on Metacritic, making it one of the highest rated games of the year, and I thought, hey, I should probably pick this game up, but I'll wait for the Switch version, like it's 2017 or something. Remember saying that phrase, I'll wait for the Switch version? Yeah, I said that about Dave the Diver. And lo and behold, I was blessed with an early review code, and I played a lot of it over the weekend, and let me tell ya, the hype is real. This game is super fun. Let me tell you the premise first. You play as a diver named Dave, hence the name, who's been tasked with managing a sushi restaurant right next to this area in the ocean called Blue Hole, which is a mysterious hole filled with all kinds of ocean creatures that are found all around the ocean, but for some reason they've all been condensed into here, and every day the formation of this hole changes, so in that sense this game is kind of a roguelite, kind of not. It's not like the levels change drastically every single day, the main difference being locations of fish may change, stuff like that, nothing too major. But in order to run this sushi restaurant, Dave has to go diving into this blue hole, diving deeper and deeper every single day, using his trusty harpoon to find fish and bring them back to the restaurant, where his chef can cook them and he serves them to the guests, thus making this game a fishing adventure roguelite management sim, I guess. There really is a lot to this game. Even the story is not typical at all. You're fighting these giant sea creatures and you're discovering the secrets of this underwater civilization. Yeah, not a game based in reality, which is totally fine. It's a very zany game. You meet all these interesting animated characters, but I want to get into what makes this game good. Why does it have 90 on Metacritic? Is it worth the hype? And after playing 8 hours of it, I have to say, yes it is. I've seriously had trouble putting this game down at times because the gameplay loop is incredibly rewarding. Basically, you go down, you find fish to sell at your sushi restaurant, of course, simple enough, and you get money from that. And what do you do with this money? You buy more gear, you buy more storage and a bigger oxygen tank so you can fish down there for longer. You can upgrade your harpoon to get even bigger fish. It's a game all about growth in yourself as a character, growth in the sushi restaurant, growth in all your equipment. Even as you continue playing and progressing through the story, the game throws even more elements at you. Heck, around 6 hours in, I unlocked a garden where I could grow rice to sell at my restaurant. I'm about 8 hours into the game, and I wonder what more it's even gonna throw at me. I just recently watched the trailer again, and some of the stuff in that trailer I have not even seen yet. Yeah, there is a lot to this game. There is a main quest which heavily involves the underwater civilization, but along the way you'll come across these interesting side quests. These characters will come visit the sushi bar, requesting very specific meals, where you'll have to go back into the ocean and gather specific ingredients for them, which of course comes with its own rewards, such as employees for your restaurant, but you will always get a ridiculous cutscene like this. Yeah, that's director Michael Bang. I wonder who he's a parody of. Some of these side quests will even lead you to some interesting cutscenes filled with their own boss battles. Yeah, these are some high effort side quests, and I can always appreciate that in any game. And that's really what makes Dave the Diver shine. It very much is an RPG of sorts with those kinds of missions. And like I said earlier, this is also a management sim where you go back to the restaurant at night and serve tables, where at first you're just playing as Dave, who's the sole waiter of the restaurant, but as time goes on, you can hire more employees to do a lot of the serving for you, which does eliminate a lot of the busy work, but as the game goes on, the restaurant gets more and more busy, so those helpful hands are really good to have around. There's one thing I should really criticize the game for though, is that it does throw a lot at you. There's all these menus that I still don't quite fully understand, and I just now found out that this bar on the right hand side of this screen, when it runs out, that means I have to go there and cut some more wasabi in order to serve more patrons. For around 3 missions, I didn't even know what this bar meant. I just assumed that meant that we were out of food and we couldn't serve people anymore, but then I found out that wasn't the case, so the game could have done a way better job at explaining that to me. Same with these little mini games like pouring green tea and pouring beer for the guests. The green tea is pretty self-explanatory, but the beer, you have to make sure it's at 20% foam, and the game didn't tell me how to do that properly, so I just had to keep guessing as I kept going forward. Very frustrating, but it doesn't deviate too much from the absolute fun I've had managing this restaurant, and of course diving to find more fish. In fact, fact, this gameplay loop is served well on the Switch, because think of it this way, maybe you're on a bus, maybe you're in a waiting room somewhere and you want to play some Dave the Diver, you have about 20 or 30 minutes to kill. Dave the Diver is perfectly suited for portable play. You can go down in the depths to find some fish for as long as you're able. I definitely feel like the Switch is a great platform for Dave the Diver. However, the Switch version does have two caveats in particular. One, the frame rate. It runs at 30 frames per second instead of 60 like on PC. I thought given its pretty minimalistic art style, it would have no problem hitting 60 FPS on Switch, but I'm not a developer, so I guess they had to make that compromise there. And you know, it's not too big of a hit. It's a stable 30 FPS, so it's fine, but I did get the PC version for a comparison, and man, the 60 FPS is appreciated when you're aiming for fish with the harpoon, so it is kind of a bummer, but again, not a deal breaker in the slightest. However, what really bothers me about the Switch version are the loading times. They are so long here, especially when you compare it to the PC version, which I have installed on my SSD, so the load times are guaranteed fast anyway. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds loading between areas, from going to your boat into the ocean to going from the ocean back to the sushi restaurant. Super fast loading times. On Switch, they can be from around 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah, relatively speaking, not very fast. It is a huge bummer and definitely kills the pacing of these play sessions. That said, I'm sure we all have smartphones here. We can just take a little break, browse the twitter.com or x.com. It's called twitter.com, let's be real. Maybe grab a snack or two. I'm just trying to make light of a dark situation. You can't blame me here. But really, if these are the only two real problems I have with the Switch version, one of them is not even that much of a problem, that being the frame rate, then that just goes to show that Dave the Diver has a very solid Switch port. I do hope one or two of those things get patched in the future if they find a way to make the game run at 60 or decrease those load times. But even then, if you don't want to pick this game up on PC, or you just want to have this game portably with you and you don't have a Steam Deck, then the Switch version is a great way to go. I wouldn't say it's the definitive version of the game because of those little issues, but it's still a serviceable way to get the Dave the Diver experience. Again, this game has a very rewarding and addictive gameplay loop, going down into the blue hole, getting yourself some fishies, selling them at the sushi place, rinse and repeat over and over again, while also experiencing a story that I wouldn't say is particularly riveting, but it's still entertaining thanks to some pretty funny dialogue and ludicrous animations. It definitely takes the craziness level up to 10. And just the fact that I've only played 8 hours of this game so far, I don't even know what's in store for me these next few hours, let me tell ya. Definitely gonna beat this game on Switch. It's coming out tomorrow, October 26th, on the Nintendo eShop for a mere $20. So if you're looking for a game with a rewarding and addictive gameplay loop, Dave the Diver is the game for you. And according to science, it's one of the best games of 2023, and already a great year for games. Also, there's a demo for it available right now on the eShop too, so if you need to go hands-on with the game to see if you'll like the final release, I highly recommend it. But let me know in the comments, are you going to pick up Dave the Diver on Switch? Have you already played it on PC? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, bye-bye.